You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, Neri here from Drakewing Gaming. Some of you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming at you another Let's Play episode of Changeling Tale, Grace's Path. It's good to see you all again. And while it's quite a gloomy day outside, hopefully I can provide you a bit of warmth and happiness today, so let's jump right into it. A crisis of faith again. Alright guys, sit back and enjoy, grab a drink, grab something to eat, and let me entertain you for the next 20 minutes. And let's go. Maybe. Hey, Alarm Chan, what are you doing? There we go. Okay, Alarm Chan, you're set. Okay.
Don't ignore the pain, but please, don't let sadness overtake you. You'll adapt, heal. Life is a gift. Live it to its fullest.
I'm taken aback by this candor, and my throat catches. I refuse to stifle the few tears that fall in front of this stranger, closing my eyes to her as if she was invisible. I am somehow unashamed. I dry my eyes as a clamor coming from within the church is carried on the breeze. The sermon must have concluded. Effie looks towards the church and back at me. The wind picks up and nearly lifts her cap off. She works hard to pin it back down, laughing.
I must be off, but it was very nice to speak with you, Malcolm. I hope we can find a quiet moment to talk again sometime.
I can't let her go so quickly, especially after her words helped dull the throbbing burn of resentment. Effie, you have certainly improved my spirits just now. Please, please know it would make me very happy to chat with you again. Do take care today. Oh, I wonder who this girl is. She's very important to the plot, I know that, because she's wearing that medallion. The bell rings out, and I turn to see people begin to filter out the church. Agnes emerges with Marion, looking concerned. They spot me and work their way over.
And Malcolm, please let me know if you need anything. Your friends are here for you.
The words sound truly heartfelt, for someone I've hardly met. I turn back to thank her, but she is gone. She really is good at this disappearing act.
Malcolm, you had us all worried. Is everything alright?
No, everything is not alright. I'm realizing that no matter how much I try to put the war behind me, it may haunt me for the rest of my days. But Effie is right. I'm not alone. Look at the two worried faces before me, and know that there are people in my life who care. 1 second, guys. Okay. Yes, I think everything is going to be fine. I put on a strong face, and to my surprise, Marion takes my hands.
Just know that we're here for you, Malcolm. You're a Campbell. Strong to a fault. It's fine to feel weak and ask for help. I'm learning that lesson my own self. Sadness can be overwhelming, but don't fall down that rabbit hole. I've had an awfully hard time yanking you out by your ears.
I can't help but laugh at the image, and I'm thankful they've listened, they've lightening the mood. Thank you, Marion. Gran. Come, let's get you home. The two women exchange knowing glances and bid each other a good day. Agnes and I speak little on the ride home, but we don't have to. She holds me close, and I know that I am loved. Oh, this is such a good game. Despite the debacle at church, I feel closer to God, if only because I sit atop our house and the heavens feel almost in reach. Having all the roofing materials already together from the previous day, I'd set myself to patching the homestead proper. I started nearly as bad a shape as the stable was, thankfully. There's someone at the door. Sliding myself to the edge, I looked down to find Marion standing there with Grace. Marion, up here! I love this tune. She tilts her head up and waves.
Hey there, fella. We brought you a picnic lunch. Care to take a break and spend time with two fair maidens?
Goodness, Marion is carrying an oversized basket, and I can smell the contents from all the way up here. I make my way down carefully, only stumbling a bit on the eaves. Standing behind Marion is Grace, looking more doe-eyed than I remembered from our last encounter. She's holding her hands behind her back, coyly, but I can't tell whether or not it is an act.
Grace, you remember Malcolm?
I stretch out my dirty hand and yank it back to a swipe on my pant leg. Grace doesn't seem fazed, and I still reaches out for my grubby palm, shaking it firmly. No, what does that say? Chapter... Ooh, picnic. Oh, picnic with the girls. Sounds good to me.
It's nice to see you. I'm sorry again that I don't remember you from school, though Marion assures me we've met in a previous life.
Shifting around, I smile abashedly. Honestly, I don't have much recollection of you either. That was indeed a lifetime ago, those old school days.
Must make for two very forgettable folks. Oh, Grace, silly girl.
We all glance at each other. Marion caves.
Fine, the two of you don't exactly stick out in the crowd. All that aside, let's eat.
Ooh, beautiful imagery. Beautiful imagery. Oh, man. Take a few minutes to clean up, then let the girls lead me out to a hill in the open field, under a small stand of alders. The leaves on the branches give good cover.
It's such a marvelous day.
Marion's enthusiasm is just, if feigned. Is it?
How so? Naysayers, it's marvelous because we're sharing delicious food with a good friend.
Grace smirks at me and I break into a smile. Marion, you'd better feed us before we turn from forgettable good friends into unforgettable wild savages. What they're gonna have to eat? God, hope it's not haggis. The girls unpack smoked ham, oat bread, and a crock of fresh goat's cheese. Oh, God, it sounds good. I spot a berry tart and clotted cream, as well as a hearty supply of cider. Cider! Let's start there. So begins a rollicking afternoon. Grace is chattier than I'd have guessed. She can spin a good yarn and has a harsh sense of humor. She is open and honest, very clear about never liking school, and leaving as soon as her father allowed.
I am an ascetic, a recluse. A recluse is a spider. Fine, then I am a spider, spinning my web, like a spinster spins her twine. I use my web to catch invaders, and my twine to rope them and hang them. She's probably not kidding.
Yeah, what will you do once you hang them?
Eat them. Ha! With your tiny frame, good luck with that.
A spider doesn't always eat its prey, often simply mocks them.
And I shall also mock them.
Then I have you successfully captured. I've not a clue. I have you successfully captured. I've not a clue what a spider does, but I am good at mocking.
You goose.
Grace is laughing, so I don't think I've bruised her ego. Her banter goes on for what seems like hours. At some point, Grace tires.
I really need to get back. I've enjoyed this time together, but home is calling. I'll walk you back. No need. I'd prefer the quiet if you don't mind. Or even if you do.
Grace says goodbye and promises to join in on another altogether entertaining luncheon. And there is Marion. Yeah, she's a firecracker.
She's a ticking time bomb. And you, egging her on. Don't you know that's a job reserved for her sisters?
My apologies. Your hands must be full enough with her as is.
Who needs their own children when you can have a Grace?
She isn't a child, and she doesn't need too much overseeing, does she?
She needs guidance, discipline, focus.
A good role model, then.
I try to be the best I can, but she needs fulfillment I can't give her, and she can't find in the world.
Is she looking?
I'd say not.
Does she need to?
Yes, she's been a sullen girl once her mother passed.
I never knew that woman. She died in childbirth over 19 years ago.
Grace still blames herself, or more accurately, she thinks we blame her. It's not true, we certainly don't. But life with her is sticky. You need to watch what you say, so as to avoid hurt feelings all around. She's kind when she wants to be, but a monster when she's in the right mood.
What brings her joy? Anything?
Just the outdoors, as far as I can tell. She sat out by the loch for hours. At times I think she may have tried swimming in it, which is unbelievable. It's like an ice bath. I let her be when she goes to the shoreline. Can we change the subject?
To Jessie?
To not Jessie. And how about to you?
To me?
Yes, please, to you. This morning when you left the service early. I was hoping you were all right.
I'm fine. It was just, well, it brought back some unpleasant memories.
I understand. I hope the pastor's words offer some solace, that your sacrifice was not in vain.
I want to believe that is true. I wish I could. I think the sermon was misinformed. This was not a holy war. It was merely a loss of lives.
But all that fighting, it wasn't for nothing. We finally won.
What did we win, Marion? What have we gained? Think of everything that we have all lost. At first, when Marion turns away, I think she's trying to avoid me in the conversation. But she pulls out a handkerchief, wipes away a few tears, and gives me a look begging me to continue.
Tell me more, please.
Nope, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I gotta go for your sister. I have to go for my heart, what my heart says. And my heart says I want to bang the Loch Ness Monster. I could have put that more eloquently, but I don't want to. I can't face having to relive the nightmare so soon. I'm sorry, Marion. It's still too close. She turns away again, embarrassed.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. It's my burden to carry. What's important is it's behind us now.
Behind all of us. God willing, no one will have to experience such horrors again. They're all calling it the war to end all war.
So they shall call the next war, too. Marion looks hurt, and for that I feel bad, but she doesn't understand. She hasn't seen humanity at its worst. I wish I could share her optimism, but I only feel my ire returning. I stand up. I should probably get back to work while the day is still young. Thank you for the lovely spread. She stands up as well and begins tossing everything back in the basket.
It's my pleasure. I'm glad you could join us. If there's anything you need, well, I'll be here for you.
Sorry for the yawning, guys. I just got up. Just still in the process of drinking my coffee. Likewise, Marion. We couldn't ask for better neighbors. She smiles, but still looks concerned.
Be well, Malcolm. I mean that.
With that, she takes off down the hill towards her home. I watch every measured step she takes, appreciative of her warmth and empathy. I know I'll be in a better mood for company another day. In the meantime, I suspect I'll benefit from some solitude. My body is sore from overuse and too much alcohol, so I have to will myself to action. All right, Malcolm, enough dilly-dallying. You need to earn your keep around here, and the roofs don't repair themselves. I hear a soft voice behind me. It nearly makes me jump.
Is fixing the roof going to solve your problems?
Ah, you feisty girl. Spying, are we? Grace emerges from behind one of the trees. It will solve one of them, yes. You were hiding there the whole time?
No, only most of it.
An eavesdropper in our midst. I suppose it's only fair after our encounter at the water's edge.
I was on my way to the loch, but thought I might come back to tell you something.
Yes, Grace?
I know what you're going through. Well, at least a little bit.
You think so? I'm convinced she's sincere, but maybe not correct. She persists.
I see it in your eyes. The sadness.
I'm not too good at hiding it.
The jokes. That's what I do.
Hmm?
Make everything funny, so no one points out how horrible everything is.
This is getting ridiculous. Are you sad, Grace? What do you have to be sad about? You're free to do what you want. Live how you want to live.
You're free to do the same.
I am now. Do you know what I've been doing for the past few years? What I've seen or experienced? You can't begin to imagine. This is turning into the very conversation I'd hoped to avoid.
You're right. I should let you be. I'm sorry.
Her expression turns glum, and I immediately feel guilty for acting so gruff with her. She came to me as a friend, and I should allow myself, at the very least, a moment to reflect without judgment. Grace, please, don't leave. I apologize for getting defensive. Being back at home was still taking some getting used to.
I don't like seeing you upset.
I sense that Grace's level of empathy is limited, and to be a recipient of her goodwill is a gift to be valued. Really, I don't mean to be difficult. Please, let me hear more. I would like to listen to your thoughts. Sitting back down against the tree trunk, I invite her to sit beside me. The healing process surely can't start without opening up, and Grace's sorrowful eyes seem as compassionate as I could ask for. I wait for her to start up the conversation again. She looks up at the sun before speaking.
I believe I understand some things about life, Malcolm. And some things, though maybe fewer things, about death.
She pauses to dap her eyelids. She is stoically avoiding crying, and I am drawn to reach out and comfort her. Instead, I hold back, waiting to see a cue that my tenderness would be well received.
I understand the deep pain that death brings, and the sorrow that lingers indefinitely. I know what it feels like to be looked at by everyone you know, everyone you love, and be seen.
Grace takes a deep breath, as is choking down her own pain.
Quite honestly, to be seen as a killer.
She lets out her breath in a long, hollow sigh, as if revealing a secret she has held onto indefinitely. All at once, we look into each other's eyes, and I hold her gaze long enough to try to communicate I shared a mercy. When she continues, it's with a distinct sense of conviction.
Everyone blames me for my mother's death, especially father. He ignored me from birth, shunned me like a fallen sparrow. Only my sisters and Miss Alana treated me with respect, as a real person. Even then, no one sees me as Grace. I'm the result of a tragedy. I am not the joy of birth, I am the reminder of death.
This is a great catharsis for her. I can tell by the way her eyes have cleared, even as she turns her sights back to the ground. Grace, look at me. Maybe that's not true.
I'm being honest.
I know, I believe you, but I hope you know that your life hasn't been meaningless.
Neither is yours. Just because we go through hell doesn't mean we're allowed to back into heaven.
It takes a moment to internalize what she said. When I do, her words lift my heart. I try to coax more from her, now that she has opened up to me. Where are you, in heaven, or still in hell, Grace?
I'm in limbo, and so are you. We're floating, just waiting to land in a soft spot.
I imagine that to be true, and picture my body landing in a plush oasis of pillows and inner peace. I thought that's how I would feel when I returned. It's been much different.
What comforts you?
The question gives me pause. Knowing that Gran has a family again, that I can be there for her.
You're a good person, Malcolm, doing a noble thing. But will it help you put behind the past?
That's as foreign a concept as the absence of guilt, or falling in love. I suspect it's at once likely attainable, yet somehow always just out of reach. Grace reaches out and strokes my arm, stopping at my hand and taking hold of it. Her fingers move along mine and send a shiver into me. I hold on tighter. 1 second, guys. Gotta sneeze. Oh my god, what a sneeze. My allergies are acting up. Why? Why are you doing this to me, allergies?
The world is full of hope in odd places. What you've seen doesn't have an answer, but maybe being back home can provide you peace and comfort, knowing that others care about you. Your life is meaningful to me, and my sisters, even if you don't feel it is for yourself.
Grace, thank you for the kind words.
All true, dear Malcolm.
She keeps her gaze on me, and we lock eyes again. I see both her sympathy and empathy, her broken heart and unwavering optimism.
Come with me. I want to take you somewhere special.
Oh, Lord. Ooh. Oh, whoa, what's this? No, I can't. Stop it. No, I can't do that. I follow Grace willingly, no longer lost in my own dark thoughts. Even if we share nothing, I appreciate that she wants to open up to me. It's hard to admit, but we may have more in common than I had imagined. The poor girl has been put through the ringer her entire life, not by violence, but by 2 decades of rejection. Imagine a life being ostracized through no fault of your own. I see her cavalier behavior in a new light, one that highlights determination and strength in the face of trauma. Grace may not be a happy girl, but she's bound and determined to mine through life's darkest vast caves, to find just one glowing diamond chip of hope. I hope she succeeds. Maybe then I will too. A bunch of broken people. We reach the coast, the water lapping at the low cliffs. She dares me to come into the water with her.
Relax, it's cold, not deadly.
It's freezing!
I'll keep you warm.
And for the first time, she sounds so cheerful, so alive with spirit.
Come on in.
Grace shouts and waves, running ahead, and my heart nearly stops as she pauses and deftly slips out of her clothes. She winks at me, laughs, and dives under, only to re-emerge a few yards out. She's fast. She's beautiful. Every part of me screams to jump right in after her, but how come that water flows straight from the North Atlantic? What the hell? I kick off my clothes, take a deep breath, and with a running leap, I dive in. Oh, and you hit a rock. Crivens! The water hits like a bath of ice. I gasp for air, momentarily too shocked to breathe. As soon as my body starts responding again, I swim after her, shivering the whole way. The current moves us both further down the coast. The tide is going out and the salt air hits my nose. I can almost taste the sea. Grace leads me to a cleft in the cliffside, beneath the old ruins. There's a small hole in the rock, which I'd never noticed before. She floats in and beckons me closer. I had been cold just seconds earlier, but now a warm desire is filling me from the inside. Yep. Ooh. Oh. Huh. She's still wearing that. Interesting. We enter the grotto. Momentarily awestruck by the reflections dancing on the stone walls, before being distracted by an even greater beauty. I want her to turn around, to show me more, but I chastise myself for being so sinful. She continues swimming, her back fully exposed. I know she can feel my gaze upon her. I know she likes it. We go deeper, and I find footing in the rocky shallows. The cold has vanished. I try to subdue my excitement. It's nearly impossible. Oh, what a nice place to end it. We've got something to look forward to. Swim with me. Ah, perfect. Oh, I can't wait. Ah, man. That is beautiful scenery, too. Oh, thank you guys so much for watching. This is, what a cliffhanger, what a cliffhanger. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for the next video. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!